Hi. Hi everybody, it's Kimberly Edwards from cookingwithkimberly.com. Today we're having a late lunch, so I decided we're going to do a family favorite that we haven't done in quite some time that I've been kind of craving all week. And they are German crepes. My mom's side of the family has been making crepes forever. We don't eat the other kind of pancakes really in our household. We've never have, even as kids, the short fluffy ones. We usually do the great big ones. That's what we call pancakes, is our crepes. So I just whipped up some batter here for you quickly to make this a quick video. It's at that type of consistency. I'm going to leave the recipe on the blog post with it. Basically, it was 3 eggs, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and 1.5 cups of milk, splash of vanilla, pinch of salt, and then you just mix it up really well. You ideally you should be able to let it sit in the fridge for a little while and let the bubbles come out so that you have a really nice smooth batter. But most of the time we're in a rush. This is usually a family thing. We'll do it on a Sunday morning or something like that for the family. But today I'm in a rush again, so I'm going to do it this way. I have a frying pan I'm going to show you on the stove, ready, and it's preheated. I have some butter in it. It looks like there's maybe a bunch of butter in there right now, but it's the first crepe, and the first one always turns out a little differently than the rest of them. The pan you want to make sure is sufficiently hot. I've let it preheat on low heat for a little while here, and I'm about to wait until you can smell the butter. You want it to go fragrant, as my mom would say, and you'll be able to smell the butter in the house, just in the air. So that's what I'm looking for. That type of consistency. You want to make sure you have enough butter on, especially when you're first seasoning the pan with the first one. So basically what I do is I take a ladle. It's the easiest way for me to do it. I guess you could take a measuring cup or something of that nature as well. So what you want to do is you want to get the butter. You want to make sure that it's all the way around the edges of the pan. I'm going to show you how to make a crepe today. For a large frying pan, I'm using quite a large ladle. And that should probably do it. So I'm just going to pour it into the center. Usually your first crepe is thicker. For whatever reason, it just never quite works out all the way. My mom used to give those to my dad. He would eat them, or if no one else felt like eating them, she'd give them to maybe the dog even, because it's just not the consistency you usually want. However, I believe on this try, I have heated the pan sufficiently well. So you're going to put that batter in the middle, and you're just going to work it to the outside. See how I wasn't explaining, but you just work it all the way so that it hits the edges. You're going to let it sit in that pan. It's on a medium heat-ish, medium-low probably. That's what you're looking for. Once you see little tiny bubbles in the center popping up, then you'll know it's time to start thinking about turning the crepe, flipping it, and the edges will become slightly crispy and roll up slightly. And when that happens, you usually can release it. It's not quite ready yet. I'll bring you a little closer so you can see. Okay. This will take a little while, a couple minutes, but be patient. Once it starts curling up, you're going to flip it over onto the other side. Usually the first side takes a little longer. When you flip it to the other side, it doesn't take very long at all to finish cooking. I'm going to grab a plate here. Still letting you watch? I'm not time-elapsing at all. Crepes have always been a family favorite. It's funny, whenever I would stay over at friends' houses when I was younger for sleepovers and things of that nature, they would always want to make pancakes, and I couldn't eat them because they're just not the same as home. So this was one of the first recipes that I ever had to learn to make on my own when I went away to college and lived in Australia. So this one thing you just can't live without, I guess. I like mine. You can eat yours with maple syrup. You can eat it with corn syrup, jam, powdered sugar, regular sugar, sugar and cinnamon. That's typically how we do it. However, a lot of people, they like to use Nutella or fruit or bananas, whipped cream, stuff like that. You can also make savory crepes, ones that you have herbs, or you can melt cheese inside, mushrooms, sauteed onions, and things like that, even meat. But this is a sweet crepe because I have the vanilla extract in there. Please use straight up vanilla extract. Don't use the imitation kind. It's a byproduct. It's not good for you. It doesn't taste as good. Please use the vanilla extract. It's worth it to make your food taste really the right way you want it to taste. Okay, so we have a little bit of bubbling going on here. I don't know if you can actually see that, but I'm just going to test and see. It's released from the sides of the pan, from the bottom of the pan. It's almost done. The sides are turning up ever so slightly, if you can see that right here. I don't have to dig underneath. So I'm just going to flip this. You can either do the big flip, the impressive flip in the kitchen, but if you're scared to do that, use a big flipper, turn it over. You want it to be, I like mine just barely golden brown like this. It's actually kind of perfect for me. Hope you can see that. You can go a little browner than that as well. As you do more and more crepes in one session, you're going to want to probably reduce your heat ever so slightly lower and lower because it'll start just cooking the crepes much too fast. So I'm just going to grab my favorite topping. Hopefully I can find it. If not, I'll use jam. Well, that's what I'm going to use is jam. No, I'm not. There it is. I'm Canadian, and my favorite topping is Canadian maple syrup. Real maple syrup. You can't use Aunt Jemima for these. Please don't do that, ever. Go buy some real maple syrup. It'll be so much more worth it. If you're going to go to the effort of making crepes, you're going to want to do that. Now, don't get discouraged when you first start making crepes and you can't quite get the technique down with the turning of the pan. Just keep trying. You'll get it eventually, and it'll become second nature to you, as you saw me do. Okay, so I'm only going to flip this over one more time to show you how quickly that other side cooked. So here, that's what it looks like. A little bit browned, a little bit more than the other side, and it was much faster. So that's what I'm doing. It's going onto my plate. At this point, you're going to want to probably start, if you're making it for your family, start another one now, put the butter in, move the butter all the way around the pan, and then pour your ladle in, twist it around, twist it around, twist it around to make another circle, which is what I'm going to show you right now. And then I'm going to roll mine up, and I'm going to show you how to eat it. So here's my butter in the pan again. The heat's kind of high. See how it's sizzling so much? As if you were here and had smell-o-vision, you'd smell the fragrance of the butter. So here's my ladle full of batter. I'm pouring it into the center. You want to work quickly with this. So now, ever so gently, you just tilt the sides of the pan, fill in the corners, the gaps with the batter until it stops being runny all the way around. As you can see, it's still going around a little bit. You just keep going and keep going and keep going until the batter is gone. Then you let it sit. I'm going to move you over here. I'm going to make my own crepe. So this is what I've been craving all week. I'm pretty excited. And my first crepe actually turned out pretty good, not too thick. Again, that has to do with the fact that I preheated my pan well. So basically, with these bad boys, you can fold them into triangles or whatever, but this is how we do it. Put your topping down the center, take a fork, grab the side, and start rolling like a tube. Voila! Now you're ready to eat. Just like it always is. I do hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you try it. Crepes really aren't as difficult as they look. Just practice a little bit. You might have to do it once or twice to really get it down pat, but you will really enjoy it. It's very impressive. You can even have them for dinner. I don't know how many times we've done that. Enjoy it with a cup of tea or a glass of milk or whatever. So I hope I've expanded your horizons on typical pancakes. and you try these German style crepes. I guess they're also French style as well, but my family's German. We've always made them this way. So I do hope you tune into the Facebook fan page. It's facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. It's youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly, and go to the website cookingwithkimberly.com. I'm Kimberly Edwards. Have a great day. Eat deliciously, everybody. Bye. Ciao.